How important is the preservation of African history and culture? Literature is one of the places where we can use to preserve cultural heritage. The past week showed us the rich cultural heritage of late King Goodwill Zwelithini kaBhekuzulu. He was following his bowing out the week before. What role should African literature play in preserving our rich African history and culture? To discuss this, we're joined by Abdul Mogale, the president of the National Writers Association of South Africa, or NWASA, and Suzan Skhosana, a member of the National Writers Association of South Africa. To both of you, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Abdul, let's start with you. How can we use writing and literature to just look at both the culture, the traditions, but also going forward for the African continent?
Thank you, Desiree, and good morning to the viewers. I think literature is very important in the development of any nation. It is important to ground your literature into the culture, the development, past and present, to inform your future in the continent. If you look at the African continent, we celebrate the likes of Ngungwa Diongo, John Matera, and a lot of other writers who have informed us as to how we move forward. But in the South African context, I think we are lagging behind, partly because of the level of culture of reading, but also because of how the curriculum is designed. You would find that you still read history material written by other people, who are non-Africans in most places. So from this conference, what we think and we want to do is to ensure that we promote the culture of reading, we promote the culture of buying South African authors, and to ensure that even in your rural communities, there are libraries. It does not make sense why you would go to Mbizana or Ramashashani or any other place in South Africa, and that a child or any person to experience a library, they need to take a taxi 10 kilometers, 20 kilometers away. And I think that's what we want to do.
Suzan, I don't know if you were listening when we played a clip before getting into this conversation about Nawal El-Saadawi and how she was saying that she's an activist and she's an author because she wants to fight for women, and she's talking against capitalism, saying it promotes patriarchy. How important is written material in the conversation of dealing with current societal issues?
Thank you, Des, for this question. May you please allow me first to appreciate and thank the SABC for this invitation. Representing Botswana on television screen, particularly the Botswana creative workers, it's such a privilege and honor. My name is Suzan Mogale Skhosana, born in Brighton, Khabalatsane village. It's in the northwestern side of South Africa. I'm a member of NWASA, founder of Pokwa's History Art Gallery. It's based right here in Khabalatsane village, more focused on multidisciplinary arts and cultural programs right here in Khabalatsane. I'm a writer, historian, and a music performer. I've got a book coming through, Pokwa's getting printed this month. So talking about NWASA, to me, NWASA is a voice of the South African literary culture. I'm honored to have been given a privilege to participate yesterday in NWASA inaugural General Assembly 2021 virtual elective conference. That took place yesterday, and I would like to thank also Dr. Nawa for him to invite me to the SABC. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been here to share my views based on the role of literature in preserving African history and culture, especially in the light of the King's bowing out. it's a given fact that literature plays a very significant role in preservation and restoration of African identity. Without paying attention to our cultures, we can only imagine that this rich heritage will be swept aside by globalization and the growth of modern economy, and this will handicap our future generations. Focusing on the preserving of our African history, look at Kgabalatshane village on its own. It's in the northwestern side of South Africa. Can you believe it that we don't have writers currently at the moment? Our last people to appear on the global stage in terms of literature, we only find the legendary Mfokeng Mekgakgase, who was one of the earliest Black Setswana written authors, documented authors of popular books that were even documented in schools.
I'm gonna have to cut you short, unfortunately, and ask you both to hold on, because this is an important conversation.